literally, I think I'm 4 minutes late or something. I don't know. We've really used up the live feature on Facebook. Guys, I need to be in my car and out of here in the next 10 minutes. I need to be on the road in 10 minutes. So what I need you to tell me very quickly is that I am loud and clear. You can get every word, every syllable. Just say it in the comments right there. It's a beautiful Wednesday evening. I know I've already come to you live earlier today. I did it, and I was very proud that I did. Hey, Mwinga. I keep wanting to say Namwinga. Hey, Mwinga. It's okay, Bamwara. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ishmael. I shan't keep you long. Under 11 minutes. Got a couple of things I just want to share with you. Of course, for those of you that may catch this live later on, you can just rewind it and watch it. And I'm always grateful that you take the time out of your very busy schedule to spend a few moments with me here on SML TV. Loud and clear, somebody says. Thank you. All right, let's get into it. First of all, I want to mention, before I get into my little 9-minute dissertation, I saw, with a very heavy heart, I saw GBM sitting in front of the former First Lady by Esther Lungu, and they seemed to be having a discussion, and then all of a sudden, GBM broke out in sorrow and he began to wail. Naturally, and that's normal because, you know, GBM had a very close relationship with the late former and sixth President Lungu, so it's very understandable that GBM lost his composure in that moment, especially sitting in front of Esther Lungu. That was a very emotional moment, and I think that every single person watching that knows exactly what that means. We've all been there. We've all been there in a moment of grief where we lose our composure, we think we're composed, and then all of a sudden it just all goes pear-shaped. So I wish GBM healing and emotional closure. And this is the reason, guys. Burial is body viewing, and burial is such a huge part of the process of healing. It's not just closure for the family, it's closure for the nation. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's closure for the nation? Because he served as president. He presided over the affairs of this nation for 7 years. And as such, we owe him the dignity of being laid to rest in his land of jurisdiction of service. I keep saying it, and I'll never stop saying it until we lay him to rest. Once we lay him to rest here in the homeland, in Zambia, healing begins, closure begins. You know, if you've ever lost a loved one, and I know that you have, you know that burial is a part of the healing process. It's very painful. No words can describe the pain of losing someone that you love. No words can describe the horror, the emotional anguish and torment that you experience when a loved one passes. But there is a brighter day. As painful and as crazy as that sounds, there's a brighter day. The darkest hour is just before the dawn. The reason that is because we have laid our loved ones to rest, and we have committed them. And in that we find solace, healing. Okay. Now, the trouble is, of course, some of you have politicized it. Some of you have brought it down to the base minimum of criticism. No, why do they want to see the body? HH wants to. He doesn't want to see the body. What he wants to see is this process run its course. What he wants to see is protocol followed. What he wants to see is the burial of a former head of state with all the honors and all the bells and whistles. Only simpletons will convince you that HH wants to lock himself in a room, open the casket, and perform some type of ritual. You have got to be sick out of your mind to think that. And this is the reason this nation is full of superstitious people. Zambians are superstitious. Why? Because you allow these chaps who advertise themselves as witch doctors. They're the ones that tell you this sort of nonsense. They tell you go and rape and sleep and have carnal knowledge of your daughter if you want riches. Go to the graveyard and dig up an old aunt that is still holding a grudge against you so that she can release you from your curse. You follow this nonsense because you believe that. And the same people that believe that nonsense are the same people that are spinning this lie. Why do they want to see the body? Anybody that dies has to be identified, has to be verified, especially a former head of state. That one is a given. Whether you like it or not, that process has to run its course. All right. So I was just thumbing through my newsfeed and I came across Binwell Mpundu's page. Binwell is one of the most unprepared politicians I've ever seen in my life. First of all, a few minutes ago, he posted on his page, he used an AI image. Now, there's nothing wrong with using AI if you're using AI to emphasize a point. But if you're using AI to deceive your audience, that's wrong. He showed two women in military uniform on an airstrip with military F-19 planes parked behind them, and these two female military officers were holding a banner that read, the inscription on the banner was Ichaba Iche or something like that. I didn't even finish reading and I immediately commented, and I don't always comment on Binwell Mpundu's page. Of course, I watch what he does because I find him to be an interesting candidate. I find him to be an interesting political character. I watch what he says because I know that in what he says and what he does, there's room for commentary for what he says and what he does. So when he posted that, I commented, I said, Binwell, you have no idea how you using this AI image, how this makes you look so amateur, it makes you look so unprepared. You have no idea. He immediately pulled it down. And of course, I'm not suggesting that he pulled it down because of me. Who am I? I'm just a mwewa, a social media commentator. But I was pleased to see that he pulled it down because one of the things I said on the comment, and again, I'm not saying that he took it down because of me. Binwell doesn't listen to me. One of the things I said that this makes you look very unoriginal as a political player. If you're going to consider yourself as a contender, as a political contender, you cannot be doing this. Be original and have a workable, practical plan. As things stand now, Binwell Mpundu has no plan to be president in 2026. The only thing he has is utterances. That's all he has. Utterances, mantras. Works, faith, without works is dead. The Word of God says that. I mean, don't get mad at me. The Bible says that. Faith without works is dead. You have to be practical. You have to be real. You have to be in a space where you are doing things, saying things because you know they are attainable. You are able to grasp them. But if they are pies in the sky, if they're unicorns in the path, then you're not doing yourself any favors. Okay, you are in a pipe dream. That is a pipe dream. You're building castles in the sky. Be real, be practical. Do you know why in America, I've given you this example before, 2 minutes and I'm done. In America has more than 300 million people that live in that country. But do you know why every election cycle you only hear about 5 or 6, maybe 10 candidates that are jostling to be elected leaders of two major political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. Why do you think that is? The reason that is, and of course America is more than 400 years mature in terms of democracy, but one of the reasons that is to get rid of the riffraff. When you've got a country that has got multiplicity or multitudinous, tens of hundreds of thousands of presidential hopefuls and candidates, you're playing around. You're rearranging the chairs on the Titanic. It doesn't matter where you put them. That ship, S-H-I-P, is still going to sink. You've got the likes of former Copper Belt minister in the PF, mwewa. He's just started a new political party called the APP. How unoriginal. Advocates for people's prosperity. Me, I'm going to start a political party so that I can wrestle power from the UPND in 2026. You're not being practical. Join a winning team. Align yourself strategically. Prepare yourself. Don't be taken by flights of fancy. If you do, you'll be overtaken by events. That is the truth. Okay, Zed Farmer, information is coming out that through the process of interrogation, news is leaking that possibly some officers might have been involved in the death of that young boy, according to what we're reading in the press. And of course, this is yet to be sort of rolled out through the court process. Once this case goes to court, we will hear everything that needs to be heard once this case goes to court. And it will go to court, I guarantee you. All right, lastly, new videos. I can't emphasize it enough. I don't know what to say anymore. Young people are just so ambitious. I mean, there's a young girl now, she's barely 19 years old. Her and her boyfriend, and this young man seems to have I'm not sure what to call that without saying too much, seems to be a defect with the tool. I'm not going to say too much about that, but what I'm trying to tell you is that young people are not, they're not serious with their lives. What is it going to take for us to convince you that you don't have to record intimacy? First of all, at 19 years old, honey, you've got no business making that type of video. You have no business whatsoever making that type of video. At 19 years old, you should be talking about college, university, enrolling. You should be talking about your career. Your life should not be front and center of a sex scandal at 19 years old. That's a bad start to your life. Oh, honey, that's going to follow you till kingdom come. That video is going to follow you all the way up to the time whoever's interested to marry you, even when you're 45 years old and you're a single woman at 45 and a young man or a man shows some type of interest in you, that video is going to come up. You see, we keep telling you this, young people, you don't get it. You need to get it. Okay, it's 19 hours. I need to go. Not chilla, no chilla. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow.